Hello, sports fan, and welcome to the Packs for Breakfast All Star teams. This is the comparison of 1992 and 2022. So these are, we opened a bunch of pack of cards every Sunday, 6 a.m. Mountain, 8 a.m. Eastern. We open up a bunch of packs of cards and we try to find an all star team, try to create an all star team. We already did the 1992 team. Now we have our 2022 team to compare to them. And who would you take? I did the outfield Monday, and I easily it was the 2022. When you have Judge and Ohtani and Betts in the outfield, it's tough to find an outfield other than having maybe Bonds, Griffey, and I don't know who else I'd put out there, but. Those are the only guys that are really going to compete, but we didn't pick those cards. But these are the cards we did pick. As you can see in the 2022, we struggled a little bit to get infielders. These two infielders aren't bad. They're really not. They're both fairly young. Marte has played for 10 years now, but he did have his best season last year, hitting 36 home runs in 136 games and batting .292. He's a career .280 batting average guy, but he had a very good season last year. He was the NLCS MVP in 2023. But when you look at these guys' numbers, Bichette has 6 seasons. Last year was rough for him. His 2024 season was 4 home runs in 81 games, and he batted .225. So he had a rough go of it last season. As it stands, with 6 seasons, he's had 93 home runs, 56 stolen bases. He bats .290. Last year's WAR for him, I think, was like negative 1.3. That's really not very good. But when you compare it to the guys that were from 1992, when you compare it to Cal Ripken Jr. and Craig Biggio, it's like, frankly, it's like the two guys, Bo Bichette and Ketel Marte, their combined home run totals as of playing 16 years is less than both Biggio and Ripken. So Biggio and Ripken had some decent pop in their bats. Right now, Marte and Bichette don't have decent pop. Although, like I said, Marte last year, 36 home runs. So, and that was the second time I think he hit over 30. I think he had another season where he hit 30 home runs. But neither one of those guys, Bichette nor Marte, won Gold Gloves. And neither one of them will, I can't imagine either one of those guys is going to be a Hall of Famer. Now, the thing about looking at these two guys, their careers are done. Their careers are finished, and we can grade them, and we can go back and we can watch the old stuff, and we can decide. Their whole careers have been played out in front of us. Bichette and Marte still have some years. Marte may still make his best years may be coming up. He may be hitting his stride, and he may be hitting his prime. So he may have 3 or 4 more really good years where he puts up 30 plus home runs. Maybe adds another 90 easily to the total, 90 to 100. Bo Bichette, rough season. He was having good seasons before that. He was the AL hits leader twice. So last year was just a rough year for him. I root for Bo Bichette because he's Dante Bichette's kid. Dante Bichette is one of my favorite Colorado Rockies. I've always kind of hoped that Bo Bichette would find his way to Colorado. I would love to see Bo Bichette play for us. But of course, if I had a choice, I'd take Cal Ripken Jr. over pretty much anybody on that board. But I don't know. What I've seen of Bo Bichette and Marte is they're nowhere near as good as Ripken Jr. and Biggio. Ripken Jr., of course, 2,632 straight games. Both of them are Hall of Famers. Each of them has over 3,000 hits. Biggio has 291 home runs. Ripken has 431 home runs. Combined, they made 26 All Star teams. Bulk of those are for Ripken. Their career batting averages are 276 and 281. Now, right now, Bo Bichette's career batting average after 6 seasons is 290. Marte's is 280. But Marte last year batted 292. So Marte had a very good year last year. So I'm gonna do this is gonna be our up the middle. This is our second baseman. This is our shortstops. Um, it's like trying to fit 8 cards on there to get our first and third baseman. Now we know, of course, these are going to be usually your best defenders on the infield. Your guys up the middle, those are your best defenders. The guys that play third and first, you'll see they weren't our best defenders for either team. Although one of the third basemen is actually was a pretty good defender, won some Gold Gloves. But I still don't think I'd have put him at short or second for that matter. But so in this one, I definitely, in the last video, I would have picked the 2022. In this one, it's easily the 1992. Ripken and Biggio, easy over Marte and Bichette. But if you think I'm wrong, if you think I'm crazy, tell me what you think Marte and Bichette will do eventually. Neither one of them have World Series wins yet. Cal Ripken did, Biggio did not. But Biggio and Ripken represent 2 guys that played with their entire team, their entire careers. Will Bichette do the same? And I can't remember if Marte kept from somebody else. I think he might have come from another team and came to Arizona. So, and if I'm wrong about that, let me know that down in the comments. But go ahead, put your comments. Who do you think would be the better guys up the middle? Would you take Biggio and Ripken, or would you take Bichette and Marte? Is there something I'm missing about these guys? And that's All Star for now.